Okay, good day. So today, to share basically something a word of encouragement, basically. And so for the last couple of days, I've been, uh, the last couple of days, I have been seeing the number 50, right? And at first, I know what 50, which is 50. I know what that means, right? I know what it means. It's Jubilee. But before I jumped into anything, basically, I had to ask, basically, by the leading of the Holy Spirit, what God was trying to really say about it. He was trying to say about it to me, basically. And I was seeing it on multiple videos actually. I was seeing as 5 as the likes and dislike as 0, the number, but it was coming together as 50. And I saw it like on at least 4 or 5 videos. It keep popping up, keep getting my attention, right? And so basically, I asked God, what is he trying to say? So I decided to go through the books of the Bible that had chapter 50. And at first, I went to Psalms 50, where God was basically saying that he was basically saying that he's coming to get the righteous, and if they call upon me in the day of trouble, I will answer, and I will deliver them, and they will glorify me. And then the other half, he was saying I was coming to deal with the wicked as well, and that he would deal with the wicked, and that was pretty much it. He was talking to the wicked and how he would deal with them, and that they shouldn't speak his statutes and so forth because they don't like his way. He's coming to deal with them and to judge them and so forth. And then I went into Genesis 50, where it was talking about how Joseph was burying his father. And after his father had died, his brothers feared that he would, now that his father died, he would treat them badly. And so they asked him to forgive them. And he cried and he forgave them. He treated them kindly and he took care of them. And before Joseph died, he said to them that God would visit you in this land of Egypt and he will deliver you out of this land and lead you into the land that he promised your father, Abraham. Right? And he said, I will lead you into the land that I have promised your father Abraham, basically. And then Joseph died in the Genesis 50 chapter, right? And so I still continue to search because there's not much verses, chapter 50s in the book of the Bible, in the books of the Bible, right? There's not a lot of chapters that ends in the 50th chapter. So that I was led to those particular ones. But then I started to say, let me look at the fifth chapters now, rather than just the 50th, the fifth chapters. So I started in Genesis. It didn't really make sense to me. I started in Exodus. When I got in Exodus 5, it was like this is the chapter, Exodus 5. And in Exodus 5, it's basically when God was telling Moses to go tell Pharaoh, let my people go. When Moses went to Pharaoh to tell the people, when Moses went to the Pharaoh to tell the Pharaoh that God said, let my people go, what happened was Pharaoh actually put more work, more labor. He made it basically unbearable for the people of Israel to be in Egypt, right? He put more bondage on them. And it came to a point where the people of Israel was like, oh my gosh, like they told Moses and Abraham, like, may God judge you, basically, because you basically put a sword in Pharaoh's hand to slay us, right? And it only seemed like things was getting worse. Here it is that Joseph in the book of in Genesis 50, Joseph told them that God is going to visit you in this land, he's going to lead you into Egypt, right? After getting that word, the Pharaoh dies, Joseph dies, a new Pharaoh comes and put them in bondage, right? However, God raises up a prophet Moses to come and to speak to the Pharaoh and tell them that my people go. So this is God coming to fulfill his promises, right? This is God coming to manifestation now to fulfill his promise, right? However, things seem to be getting worse actually, rather than getting better before the deliverance. And so Pharaoh said, oh, you guys have plenty idle time to be doing what you want to do. I guess I can put more labor on you because you have plenty time on your hand to be telling me that you need to go to the wilderness to worship your God and to do a feast unto him. So Pharaoh put more hard labor on them. These things seem to be only getting worse. And here it is God saying, I'm going to deliver you, I'm going to deliver you. But why things seem to be getting worse? Right? It was like God's word was causing the enemy to become even more angry, like because the enemy knew, not Pharaoh, but the enemy knew that the time for the whole the children of Israel in bondage was coming to an end, and so it wasn't like he could stop it, but he was trying to get the children of Israel into a place where they didn't believe God, right? They for them to think like, oh, God said I'm delivering you, but it looks like things are only getting worse. It looks like Pharaoh is never gonna let us go, but things are getting worse, right? And that's kind of like today too, right? And I feel like this is a now word, right? Because last year August, right? Um, not actually August, July. At the end of July, where I was working, I had to do a newsletter, right? And I decided to do a newsletter on the day called Emancipation Day, right? That we celebrate here in the Bahamas in August. And I felt like God was saying, because as I was looking for a picture to put in the newsletter, I saw these two hands, like as if the hands is breaking, like the chains was broken off the two hands, and their hands were set free. And like God was talking to me, like this is freedom, it's coming, right? And this is what he was trying to speak to me at the time. Freedom is coming, emancipation, freedom from slavery, right? But at the time, it's like kind of. So I just said that I received it basically, and I talked with another a prophet about it. So I told him the same thing. I just left it at that. And what I felt God was telling me at the time, it didn't make any sense. Now it's starting to make sense because when I look at the number 50, it means jubilee. But jubilee don't only mean restoration, but it also means emancipation, right? I did not know that at the time, but now I do know that. After I looked it up, I did not know that. So it's starting to make sense now, right? For this the year 2020, the year of jubilee. Right? At the time, it didn't make sense. What God was telling me in last year July, but it's making sense now. And the fact that he's led me to Exodus 5 and 6 is basically explaining what is right now doing. But it's not what he's about to do. It's what he's doing right now. He's delivering his people, whatever the bondage may be. If the bondage is people um, at your work, whatever it is, poverty, whatever it is, whether you feel like you're losing your mind or whatever it be, sound mind, you don't have sound mind, you don't have peace, you don't have joy, whatever is your form of bondage, whatever is being a pharaoh to you, I feel like God is going to set us free. And that's happening now. And it might look like things are actually getting worse rather than getting better. But this is a time where you're gonna have to have faith to believe that what God said He's gonna do, He's doing it, right? Because in the Exodus 6, it says the people didn't, when Moses was telling the people that God is coming to deliver you and that God is gonna deal with Pharaoh and cause Pharaoh with a God said to Moses basically, right? I am going to do something to Pharaoh that will cause Pharaoh with a strong hand let my people go and drive them out of the land, right? So God said basically, I'm going to do something that will cause Pharaoh to let you go. And not only let you go, he will drive you out of this land because he won't want you there anymore, right? But while Moses was telling the people this, the Bible says that they were in such anguish of spirit. It was in such anguish. And because of the cruel bondage, I sure that they wanted to believe, but because the bondage was so cruel, because their soul was in such anguish, they didn't hearken unto Moses at the time. And so this is my feel like this time I feel like things are really getting worse. You might have more nightmares in your dreams, or you might people might be coming at you more and attacking you more. And there's so much you might feel like it's hopeless, right? This is the time you just have to believe and trust in God. Like it says, trust in love with all thine heart and lean not to thine understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he shall direct thy path. It doesn't matter who around you might be trying to betray you. It doesn't matter who around you might be trying to come against you. Whether you tell them or not, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. All that matters is God's word. The fact that God spoke to them and said, I would deliver you, and He did deliver them. God's word really is what matters. Right? And I heard someone said sometimes the situation that you're in, when it feels like it's overwhelming you, is because God is overcoming it. That's why it's manifesting. It's manifesting because it's getting ready to leave your life, right? God's word, the word He spoke to you is addressing the problem, it's addressing that issue. Just like God did with the children of Israel, He said, I'm going to deliver you. And when the minute He said that, Pharaoh actually made their wages worse. But at the end of the day, Pharaoh still had to let them go. Pharaoh still had to let them go. And so I just want just the word of encouragement that if God said he will set you free, he will set you free. It doesn't matter how bad it looks. The devil is going to try to get you to think that God's never going to let you set you free, because he's going to try to get you to lose your faith. Because the promise comes by faith. And faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. That's why you keep constantly hearing people say that God's going to set his people free. And this is time of jubilee and this is time of freedom. And you might be saying, oh, I keep hearing it because that's God's trying to build your faith. That's God trying to, by his word, by him speaking and confirmation, he's trying to build your faith. So when the time of promise and manifestation comes, his time of visitation comes for you and I, he will meet us with faith and not disbelief and doubt. And he will meet us with faith, regardless of what situation we're in. It's going to be worth it. And I feel like I have to share this dream now. So it was back long time ago, actually. It was not actually that long, but more like in 2016 or so, where I didn't understand the dream at the time, but I do understand it now. I'm starting to really understand it now. And in this dream, I dreamt like I was in the airport, and and in the airport, my husband and this little girl, is before I had my little girl, but my husband and little girl was in the airport, and they were going to travel, basically. And as they was to go to travel, I couldn't. All of a sudden, I didn't have my passport. This is so weird, right? But I couldn't go anymore because I didn't have my passport. And my little girl, she was crying for me to come, but I couldn't go because I didn't have a passport. So I had to go back. It was like I said, since I cannot go, I have to go back. I have to leave the airport. And as I was leaving the airport, this is in Bahamas now. As I was leaving the airport, this man came on and I started running after me. It was like the atmosphere in the dream was so oppressive, right? And he was coming. I was like, oh, I can't go back to that land. I can't go back because if I go, this man is coming after me, try to kill me in this land. So I left. I turned back into the airport, and I decided I'm gonna take a chance. I started to walk towards the clearance, I guess the gates, I guess, to go to the plane or something like that. I eventually left to go through the clearance to the security check. And at first, the security they was let me go through, but the minute they saw me, because they was letting everybody else go through, but then they saw me, they tried to stop me. So I took off running and I ran past security, right? And the security started chasing me and so forth. And I ran past security, and it was like all of a sudden I was in the US airport now. I went from the Bahamas, Nassau airport to the US airport. And as I ran past security, they came run after me, but I managed to get down and touch in the US, right? And as once I was in the US, they stopped running after me, and it's like I was running, and I was so free. And it was like it's like God was saying basically, I'm taking you from oppression and into your freedom. At the time, it didn't make sense because it didn't seem like I was under no sort of oppression, to be honest. Even with the children of Israel, right? Sorry, even with the children of Israel, right? At the time when Joseph told them in Genesis 50, when they had come into the land, when they had come into Egypt, when he took care of them, this was a good time for them. Joseph was taking care of them. Joseph was under Pharaoh. He was taking care of them. They had no worries, basically. They had no worries. And so it didn't make sense. I said, God, we're taking you to this land and I'm being treated well in, right? So that's how it is. But when it's time for God's promises to come to pass, the devil like to show his head. But at the end of the day, God's word is God's word. And he's not a man that he should lie. He's the son of man that he should repent. It just takes time for us to wait on him and to trust in him, for him to bring the promise to pass. So I have to go now, but God bless you and have a good day.